Hello. Thank you for listening to and watching You Had Options. This episode, I have Kyle Janis from Soothsayer Hot Sauce on, talk about the origins of Soothsayer as a company, to what safety gear they wear when they're mixing their hot sauce, so much more. Great talk. Talk a lot about music, bands, punk rock scene. Great conversation. Go to Soothsayer Hot Sauce, find them on Instagram, go to their website, order hot sauce from them, support them. Support You Had Options, at You Had Options, everywhere. Go to thehandsomescoundrels.com/shop if you want to buy some merch. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Enjoy. Hold on.
No worries.
I think I'm good. Yeah. It's weird. Sports, I was thinking about this a lot lately. I started recording. I can cut out whatever. But
Hell yeah.
I started thinking about, you see a lot of actors or musicians who are shitty. They lose work in jobs whenever their stuff comes out. But if you can run a football, or if you could,
if you have a billion-dollar industry actively wanting you to keep on doing what you're doing, it's easier to brush it under. But it's weird being a leftist punk metal head.
Yeah, for sure.
Who also likes sports, and it's just I guess we're just gonna go at odds with everyone here.
Yeah. So are you from Chicago or Chicago?
Born and raised.
Okay. So, are you an avid all things Chicago supporter of sports teams?
Generally so. Football has really never done it for me. There's just the surrounding attitude and atmosphere around football has never been anything that appealed to me. I did the high school football training camp between 8th grade and freshman year, and I've always been a big dude.
Same.
And so they're you'd be a great offensive line, whatever, and you could be a starter first or second year. And I was like, yeah, I'm gonna try for the golf team because you guys are fucking assholes.
Yeah, I feel that. Yeah, I was the same. I think the last time I played football was 7th grade, and I was like, I don't know. And then in high school, I was in band. So
hell yeah. Oh yeah. No, I was never in band, but that was all my friends were just band and orchestra kids. That was even before I got super into music. But it was just the jock football thing really never struck a chord. So then I went to Fest and I was like, oh, this is my home.
The Fest? Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure. Yeah, it's a good group of people. It's, the one thing I like about Soothsayer, I think I heard about it, heard about you through, must have been Direct Hit. They had, or it must, Direct Hit.
Our first ever band collaboration project was with Direct Hit.
Yeah, I think it was because of that.
Yeah.
Did you have plans to? Was that always a plan to do collabs with bands?
It wasn't. Everyone's like, "Oh, that was brilliant. That's such a good idea," and it's something I was interested in, but it was never the front of mind plan of that's what I'm going to make this whole thing. I went to, like, the whole Soothsayer origin story really started out of going to Fest 13, and my friend and our first designer, Shane Zobel, he did Wayfair clothing for a while, and he had a booth there, and just like hung out around the marketplace, and I was like, this is fucking awesome. Like,
Yeah.
the creative energy there. It's like, oh, here's so many people who are doing things that are a part of this that aren't necessarily playing in a band this weekend.
Yeah.
And so my thing was just like, I want to start doing this, and I want to do it at Fest. And the collaborations just kind of naturally came out of that.
Yeah. How does one start I don't want to just keep asking you to tell your origin story, but how does one start a hot sauce company?
Smoking a lot of weed and
Yeah.
being really good at Google searches. Pretty
Were
much.
you in your kitchen, like, with little beakers and like little pipettes and like doing that?
It was just me drunk in a kitchen wearing a basketball jersey throwing peppers in a fucking pot. Like, there was no, because like I didn't go, everyone's like, oh, like, did you go to culinary school? Were you a chef at any point? And no, I don't have any real food background.
Yeah.
So it was just throwing shit together. Like, I'd had a big hot sauce collection and was moving apartment to apartment like every year.
Yeah.
And I had a giant hot sauce collection and a giant vinyl record collection. And I was just decided, like, one has to go. Like, I can't move two very involved, fragile, heavy things. And so I just kind of sat down like the 2 weeks before I moved, and just the whole idea was, well, I'll just keep getting cheese pizza and I'll open up 10 bottles a night and pick out one or two that make the cut of, like, I like this is good, I will use this again. And versus just fucking whatever dumb shit I found at a rest stop in Kansas somewhere.
So were you what were some of the like hot sauces that got you into I guess like trying to figure out hot sauce?
I would say, I was like, let me think. I was like, no, I have thought about this. The three that probably did it were the El Yucateco green sauce, which you can get at like most grocery stores. Like, I know I saw it down at Piggly Wiggly in Birmingham. Like, it's kind of it's in all over the place. Like, everywhere in the country will have that.
Is that the one where it's got the guy in the yellow suit on it? Am I thinking of?
I think that's Sapatio.
Okay, yeah. Sorry.
Yeah, this one, it's like, I think it's. I'm trying to look if I can see it from here. Still, yeah, 12 years later, still keep a bottle on hand. It's kind of, oh yeah, I'm at a computer with the wealth of the world's knowledge at my fingertips.
There you
go. Their label is, let's see how fast Google comes back with this. It's just like a yellow label that says hot sauce chili habanero. It's it's pretty basic. Like, nothing stands out about it to make you be like, oh shit, like, I should really pick that up. Like, there's no marketing or anything behind it that you would consider in like the hot sauce niche. But I was working at this warehouse and would go to this like Greek hot dog stand, and I tried it there, and I was using like a bottle every week.
Damn.
Just going to lunch 2 or 3 times a week. And eventually they were just like, we just have a bottle for you now. Or like, so that one, this business called Crybaby Craig's up in Minneapolis. I lived up there for a year, and he makes one flavor, and it's just a habanero sauce, and it's fucking fantastic. And that was the first time that hot sauce for me was not just something you would see at a major grocery store.
Yeah.
Like, oh, here is an independent, like, DIY version of this.
Yeah.
And then Dave's hot sauce, which prior to like everything getting nuts with hot sauce and spice and heat, was like the kind of flag bearer on all of that, like the first craft hot sauce company. And they had one that was called, I think they still make it, called Salsa de la Muerte. and it's like a super chunky, like almost restaurant style kind of salsa.
Okay.
And that's when I realized, like, oh, like it doesn't have to be like super thin, watery, vinegary, like run off your food kind of thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so kind of pulled a lot from all three of those.
Have you noticed, like, you said you've been like super into hot sauce for like 12-ish years. Have you noticed like an uptick in like DIY hot sauce companies, or is that a thing?
Substantially. Like it's hot sauce is right now where like craft beer was in 2015.
Okay.
It's fucking everywhere. Which is funny because I started Soothsayer in 2015, and there was one other company in Chicago. I was realistically the second, and now there's, that I know of, probably 10.
Damn.
And I mean, this is a Midwest company with like trying to sell hot sauce to a Midwest palate. But I mean, all over, which is a struggle in itself.
What is the Midwest palate? Yeah.
Fucking mayonnaise, like
Just
hot dish and mayonnaise, like.
Okay.
I do like every time I do like a farmer's market or street fest or something, it's this weird phenomenon where people will come up to me and they'll see everything. Like my booth says hot sauce 6 fucking times over, but they'll come up and it's just like, they're like, you know what? I just really can't do hot food. And I was like, you really didn't even have to talk to me. Like some of them are mild and just freak out. Like it's coming around, but I mean the Irish, Italian, Polish, German heritage Midwest is
I feel that
not coming from heat friendly backgrounds.
I feel you. Yeah, I remember going, like, I grew up in Mobile, Alabama, and so that's like, it's like 2 hours from New Orleans, and so we'd go over there every once in a while, and like they have their like street market, their French Quarter like street market. Yeah, I remember they had, like, I'm sure if it's not the same place, there's some other, or like a handful of like just these hot sauce booths that are humongous, and like, as a kid I was like, I thought like Tabasco is hot sauce, like that's it. But then you go into this booth as like a 10-year-old and you see like rip your ass off, sauce or whatever.
Asses on fire, asses on the moon, asses in Antarctica.
Asses on the moon. Yeah. Have you I like the Soothsayer, like, I don't know, aesthetic or whatever. You're not like, it'll blow your ass out.
No, it's just there's so many people that have been doing that forever, and I mean, I've seen it's not, they have one down at French Quarter now, this spot called Pepper Palace. They have one in one of the malls downtown in Chicago that they do all of that shit, and like there's like a whole series of like asses. And they sell gift packs that's just like your ass in 6 different situations, and none of them are going to be pleasant. And so we're just like, we're like, here's some heat and also flavor. Mostly flavor over heat. And that's just, during my 2-week-long binge taste test, I realized very quickly that the hottest end of the spectrum, the challenge, the one chip challenge, the fucking hot ones to bomb, like that's just not for me.
Oh man. Yeah. You and I met at Apprentice Fest in Birmingham. And I think when we were there, I was talking to you about, we bought the hot ones, like box set or whatever. And and like they had to make up like their own, like the Apollo pepper, I think is the hottest one that they have. Yeah. And it's like, it's like, I don't want to have to chug a gallon of milk, which I did. You're
gonna need to. But every time, like if someone gets that pack, and I'm sure either you have since thrown it away, or it just occupies this like desolate corner of the fridge. Just kind of waiting for that day. I've had so many friends who got that pack, and it's just like the first 3 are good, but like after a couple months, they just toss the other ones.
Yeah, you can use like the first 3 or 4, and then after that, it's just like Okay. Like you can't do anything with it. But you have no desire to be like, we're pushing the limits of heat and the human, existence.
Fuck no, absolutely not. When people, because I mean, obviously, like Hot Ones is the cultural
it's
barometer
like
of hot sauce
now.
now. Yeah. Oh, it's up in there. So people will be like, oh, what's like your hottest one? Like, where would that rank on Hot Ones? I'm like, fuck, like 4 or 5. Like, if you're looking for something to mess you up, like, I mean, I always carry a bottle of liquor with me at shows. Like, we'll get fucked up in a not hot sauce way. But no, that's just not the style.
I think you guys had a couple of bottles of Malort on hand.
Oh, of course, we got to, as the only provider of Malort hot sauce. You gotta represent. I mean, that to go into how hard I ride for Chicago-based things. I was allowed to. Oh my God, what's that? I'm fucking blanking right now. The term when a hostage starts to identify with their captors.
Stockholm syndrome.
Stockholm syndrome. I am a Malort Stockholm syndrome.
guys, it actually, when you taste it and you think about it, it tastes good. It tastes pretty good, guys.
All you need to do is live with someone who's deep in the service industry during your 20s, and that really did it.
So, was your Malort bottle of hot sauce, was that an official Malort collab?
Yes. Yeah.
Oh, damn.
So
that's cool.
I put that out originally in 26 around the holidays, 2016, for my buddy's like prog mathcore psych band.
Hell yeah.
And they'd been fucking around with Malort. They were riding for it well before it became the like cultural thing it is. I mean, you've been to Fest, like it's just everywhere now, which I will absolutely take credit for. As at Fest 13, I flew down with less clothes than I did bottles of Malort. So you're welcome for that, Gainesville.
Is Malort still special to you, or is it now? It's kind of like you're saying, it's getting out there. People know about it.
It's special in the same way that, like, I mean, to go back to where we started on like sports and Chicago sports. Like, I was going to Blackhawks hockey games when they were just fucking terrible. And was a fan, and it was great, and I loved it, and it was like this weird little tribe of metalheads and geeks that loved hockey in a city where no one gave a shit about it. And then they started winning, and then they started selling winning, out, and then Fall Out Boy is doing their championship songs for them, and all this other shit. And so it's kind of in that same way. It's just like, oh, like our little weirdo circle is grown up, and it's everywhere now, and like that's cool because you wanna see the things you like succeed.
Yeah, that's one cool thing about Chicago people, for sure, that, if you meet somebody from Chicago, they're usually ride hard for Chicago.
Chicago is violently, aggressively pro-Chicago.
Yeah. Oh, man. Was there ever a time in your life where you're like, I don't know if Chicago's the spot? Did you ever have any doubt?
Nothing so far. I mean, it's as a business owner, it's in a weird place because Chicago's not terribly kind to small business or independent business. Just the way it's set up. So I mean, we'll see how that goes in the future. But I mean, I fucking ride or die Chicago forever. It's a wonderful city. Like it's hard to get food, culture, entertainment, community, all these things, and like to be in a major city, like a top 5 in the U.S. population city, and I run a dumb small batch hot sauce company, and I can afford an apartment. I could never do this in New York, San Francisco, Houston, Seattle, any of that shit. So Chicago is very special for that. I think it's because the winter just scares everyone away and toughens us up a little bit.
Yeah.
As I say, it's 7 degrees outside right now.
Yeah, man. Yeah, it's growing up in the South, we would get snow like once every 10 years on the coast, and so I've got family in Boston, and so going to visit them like in the winter, like the first 10 minutes is cool. of snow.
Yeah.
But then it's just like, oh shit, this is just water, and all my clothes are wet.
Snow is great until it hits the ground, and then it's a fucking problem.
Yeah, man, I need that Edward Scissorhands, like a light dusting, and that's
exactly.
That's it. Sorry, this is kind of off topic, but on topic. Did Michael Jordan, was he hungover, or did he have the flu in that?
Oh, he was fucking hungover. He was a party monster.
I love it. Man.
Yeah, he was hungover, and he absolutely got pushed out of the NBA to silently punish him for his gambling thing. I'm a full believer in that.
Do you think the NBA killed his dad?
I think someone who he owed a bunch of money to probably.
Yeah. I'm being silly. I probably shouldn't be silly about that.
Like if David Stern put out a hit on Michael Jordan's dad, that's what we haven't had like a not harmful conspiracy theory in a while, so I think that one's pretty benign. I think we should start that up.
Yeah, man. I don't know. There's something like, so he takes the year off from basketball. He plays for the Birmingham Barons. What's going on? There's something to all this.
We got to figure it out. There was something else there. There was for sure something else there.
Yeah.
So it was really cool. I didn't get to go to what's it now? Regions Field?
Yeah.
Down there. So I didn't get to go to the actual stadium he played at, but I went to a Barons game.
Nice.
In 2019, and it was just like Michael Jordan played baseball for this team, and it's so fucking cool.
Yeah, dude, it's a sweet the baseball stadium they have now. The one that you went to that's pretty sweet.
It's really nice. I mean, I did I don't know if do you know Drew Brooks from the Birmingham? Okay, hell yeah. So I went and flew down and met up with Drew, and we did a little mini Bama weekender where we went down to. We went to Mobile and saw the Bay Bears play there.
Yeah.
And I actually got to throw out the first pitch at the Bay Bears game.
Nice. Hell yeah. It's a
I just wrote him. I was
stadium.
Like, yeah, with his boyhood home out there. And then we did we did Montgomery, then we ended in Birmingham. And it was a fucking blast.
Yeah, man, there's something about minor league baseball, It's a field of dreams type. Maybe that's the wrong acronym.
Oh no, I think you're right on there.
Not acronym, but whatever. These guys are making I don't know, 20 grand.
Dog shit. Yeah, they're making below minimum wage to maybe 2 people out of 40 people who play for that team ever make it and make real money or do anything. As a DIY punk kid, there's a lot that I love about minor league baseball and minor league sports in general over pro level in general.
Yeah, and I don't know, are you into wrestling at all? Pro wrestling, not this amateur college bullshit.
I have started to get more into it. When I first started getting around the fest and the punk scene, it weirded me. I was like, okay, this thing's really cool. Then, but all you guys like wrestling? That's man. Fucking lame. And then I was shown the clip "Wrestling Isn't Wrestling," and started to watch it more and more with friends. And then the rise of AEW has been so fucking cool to see. Because there's a lot of, AEW has felt now they're big leagues. But they were the minor leagues of WWE, and it's just all these people doing crazy shit.
Yeah, it's I don't know, the lifestyle between an independent wrestler and a punk rock band is the same thing, where you're driving hundreds of miles. Hopefully you get $50. That'd be cool, or you know, whatever. I don't know. There's a lot of cross section between punk rock and wrestling, and this is just turned into a fest podcast of everything that's fest is punk rock.
You know what, there's the ties everywhere, and that's why there's a reason why wrestling and the fest punk scene have been so intertwined.
Have you ever? Are there like Soothsayer flavors that you couldn't perfect, and you're just like, it's chasing me, it's haunting me?
So I can't. I think at this point, anything that I have put at least like an attempt or two in for trying to get there, I've been able to pull off. The pizza flavored hot sauce that we have, which is an international award winner and one of our best sellers. The first version of that was the most inedible bullshit I've ever tasted in my life. It was terrible. It was horrible. So that one took some time, but there's definitely some like styles and some ingredients that I've been holding off on until like I feel like I've been in a place where I have like the ability to do it right.
Yeah.
I actually have. I'm talking to a fella up here in Chicago who does like food pop-ups and like menu collaborations to fund. I think it's MS research. He's just been doing crazy cool stuff, but spoiler. Well, for anyone who listens to this, here's a free preview of what we have coming out this year.
Exclusive. If I had a button.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
You'd Had Options exclusive.
Yeah. Let's get some drops going. But we're going to start working on a hot sauce that's shishito pepper based, which to my knowledge doesn't exist. And that's something I had talked about with another group a few years ago, and they had floated that idea, and I was like, well, that sounds really cool, but it's just like this little bitter Japanese pepper that's hot every now and then. And so I feel like I'm at the time now to be able to start to do that successfully.
So I don't know about this pepper. Is there like a food that it's in or something like
it's almost exclusively eaten on its own. You put it in an oven or toss it on a grill and like just kind of blacken it and soften it up a little bit. And so usually like olive oil, salt, lemon juice. It's a big like if you went out to a craft brewery with a kitchen, if you went to 3 craft breweries, one of them has blistered shishito peppers on their appetizer menu.
Okay.
It's that kind of thing.
Okay. Are you you know how like with those old like Samuel Adams commercials, the guy had his hand like in barley and he's like, are you going to Japan and you got the shishito peppers and you just
I fucking wish, dude. I wish I had enough money to do R&D trips to anywhere that's not the fucking Mercado down the street from me. I have a buddy who runs like a coffee roasting thing, and like he was just in Colombia last week, like visiting suppliers and sources. I'm like,
suppliers and sources.
Yeah, in Colombia, right? Yeah. Yeah, you better.
This oh my god. Sorry, my camera.
The hyper zoom going, yeah.
I didn't realize I've got like hand controls on. Hold on.
Oh shit.
Oh my god. Yeah, but I got this fancy camera.
That's cool. So I like the little like dramatic close up. Like we're gonna hit to a plot point on an SVU episode.
Hold on. Oh my god, this is so embarrassing.
No, you're doing great. I love it. I wish I had cameras where I could control just waving my hands around. That's cool as shit.
It's like I was trying to figure out a way to make I don't know this. Hold on. Here we go. There we go. Okay.
Oh, there's the train. There's the train whistle too. That's Birmingham as hell.
Yeah, man, it's like a block away. Yeah. But yeah, so
I think you're controlling with your eyebrows now.
These are fake eyebrows. I had to draw. It took me so long to get on. I was drawing these on. But yeah, so your friend is running guns and other stuff out of Colombia.
Yeah, no, that's coffee shops of fun. I've always felt that way.
Is there? Oh my god! Do you have like a holy grail hot sauce?
I don't
Is that a
know if I
thing?
have like a like for a flavor or for like a project.
I don't know. For like
Or
a, you
both.
say you got a collection. So like, what is there?
I
Like,
don't
oh man,
I don't think like so I know a bunch of other companies to include that like Dave's company that I mentioned earlier. They do these like yearly releases that they'll have in like hand glow and glass bottles and wax seal it, or it'll be like a skull or some shit, and they'll charge like $300 for 5 to 10 ounces of hot sauce.
yeah,
And it's insane. It's like, I mean, it's up there with like rare beer collectors. I mean, it's really nothing different aside from like this one's gonna be spicy, the other one gets you drunk. Uh, but the ability to do something like that where I'd have like we made 50 bottles and they're
yeah,
wax dipped and I autographed them and whatever, and just sell them for like to successfully sell them for more money than any bottle of hot sauce should be sold for. That's just like that'd be a personal goal to be like, oh, we're at the level and recognition now where like serious hot sauce collectors aren't going to buy this like stupid limited product.
yeah.
Um, which I do have an idea for that, which we're going to drop another exclusive right here. Uh, I want to do it in a way to do everything I can to piss off the Catholic Church and
Okay,
to have gold, frankincense, and myrrh in the hot sauce and call it church burner.
okay. I like it.
Yeah, so
It can
that's
be. Yeah, man. You can do like a Norwegian black metal uh, combination with against the Catholic Church.
oh yeah, there you go. We got like Alcest or something in on it. Just no,
Yeah,
not Burzum though. That dude's a fucking
it's too,
asshole.
yeah. We were
Yeah,
talking
Varg.
about before we started recording. We were talking about people's personal lives and what they believe of the.
Yeah,
I can't get behind most of it with
no,
or any of it with those guys.
yeah, no. That's been I've done shit to this point 20 at least 25 different collaboration projects,
Yeah.
and I've been either through personal radar or dumb luck. I've not had any project I've done comes out
Oh
to be
yeah.
associated with a canceled band. So
Okay.
I'll continue to stay the fuck away from that at all possible.
Yeah. Yeah. It's weird because you don't know. You don't know everybody's history or whatever.
Yeah,
You just got to trust people, I guess.
yeah, exactly. And I mean,
What
it's
is
like sorry, go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
To say like, yeah, now that we've started working with bands that like but when I started up, it was just like direct hit. Like I know Nick Woods, I know Devin, like Steven and
Yeah.
fucking all those, like everyone involved in that, and Danny. I didn't want to forget Danny. He'd be really mad if I left him out. But like now I just don't. I work with bands who I've maybe met one person in, or a couple of projects where I've just straight up never met anyone in that group before.
Yeah.
So just the hopeful expectations that everyone's a good person.
Yeah. It's yeah, I don't know. It's yeah, you would like to trust people and hope
Yeah, you would think so.
something
I mean,
weird,
as I sit behind a record shelf that has like Culture Abuse and Brand New and Cheap Girls, and it's still like, goddamn
Yeah.
guys.
Is there a Chicago big band you would want to work with?
Ooh, who's? I mean, I've gotten to do stuff with Typesetter, who I love dearly.
Oh yeah.
Great bunch of individuals. Kalamasi, two former guests of the pod, and Sam and John.
Friends of the pod, yeah.
I think the Chicago list for me has gotten shorter and shorter. I think at this point, like the a dream goal would be to do something with Fall Out Boy, because at the end of the day, I'm still a kid from 2003, seeing them in fucking churches and shit.
Yeah. Damn. That's yeah. Were you? Did you grow up Catholic?
No.
Okay.
Methodist.
Okay.
I think baptized Catholic. Both my parents had Catholic school forever upbringings.
Same.
And I think the story behind our conversion to Methodism was that my mom went to the Catholic church out in the suburbs, and the dude, like the priest, pastor, whoever they are, just spent the whole time talking about money and donations. And so
That's right,
she said,
man.
fuck that, and then went over to Methodist
10%.
because,
Yeah.
oh yeah, off 10% off the cuff, like let alone whatever else we decide to guilt you into.
Right.
So yeah, apparently Methodism was the like, we're here and cool and here for the people, and like I went to church through pretty much until I went to college. Never like really in the believing side of it, but Methodists just go out and build houses for people, and we had a LGBTQ pastor in fucking 2006, cool. Like well before any of this. So it's like, all right, cool. Like just they're here for people, and I like that. But I've never been truly religious, but vehemently anti-Catholic.
I feel that, man. Yeah, same. Parents, Catholic. They went to Catholic school. Grew up, grew up Catholic and all that stuff. So, yeah, I get it for sure.
You got that guilt just settled right into the chest. Yep.
That's right, baby. Oh man, yeah. Woo. But yeah, it's funny talking to people and like going to church shows or whatever was like, that's how I got into metal and metalcore and punk and stuff like that.
Especially like the metal and like the Southern Christian metal thing. Like, I mean, before I was ever into punk, I was into like the Chariot and Norma Jean and Maylene and fucking Zao, like all these Under Oath and Life in Your Way and like so many. I mean, just pick a fucking Furnace Fest lineup, or like that also played Cornerstone at one point.
Cornerstone, yeah.
That was my shit, and it's wild how many bands, like heavier bands, I saw in a goddamn church.
Yeah, it's like this past Furnace Fest was the first one I'd ever been to. I was too young for the first ones, and then I wasn't around. I was living in Mobile whenever they brought it back. But yeah, it's just so bizarre being like an adult and like seeing Bleeding Through. They weren't like Christian, but like that was like a high school band for me. And
I mean they were deep in that whole scene.
Yeah. It's just, I don't know. It's cool because I'm not like I didn't like fanboy out or anything like that, but it's just like, whoa, this is just surreal almost.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Oh, I mean, I had probably the hardest, if not the hardest I've ever fanboyed out, the hardest I've fanboyed out in quite some time at Furnace Fest this year. Ran into Dallas Taylor from Maylene after their set on Saturday night.
Oh, that's great.
I loved their set. They did them dirty with the audio for the first few songs. So hopefully they get a redo on that one. But I saw him walking around and I was just like, end of the day, exhausted, decently drunk, and just gave him the biggest hug, and he gave me a huge hug. And
yeah, man,
I definitely kind of quiet cried for like a minute and a half. I was just like, that was incredible. That made my entire weekend.
Yeah, dude. Well, and with him, he should be dead, for from his accident,
not only should this band have never played again, he should not be alive right now. And we just got to see that again. And as someone like I was at Maylene's first ever show in Chicago, probably their first 6 shows in Chicago.
Yeah.
And so I've loved that band for a long time. So to see that happen again was a real big fanboy moment for me.
Yeah, there's a lot of like soft spots in my heart for at this last Furnace Fest. Yeah, I don't know. It's so cool and seeing like Comeback Kid, even though Comeback Kid's still putting out cool records and
they're
still doing it.
crushing it. And those dudes are so fucking nice.
Yeah.
I met them. They played earlier last summer at this fest in Detroit called Tie Down that they
Okay.
just had in this like big industrial warehouse, and we went out and did sauce there. We're gonna be back there again this year. It was just one day all the way through. They're doing 2 days this year, but Comeback Kid was the kind of main support to Trash Talk. So
Okay.
big fucking band on the bill. And afterwards, like Andrew was just sitting at their merch booth, like drinking a beer and smoking a joint, and just
a
fucking
dude.
nicest dude, just the nicest fucking guy.
Yeah. It's I don't know. I get this weird like, man, I was like 16, 17 listening to y'all, and y'all are still fucking
Oh yeah,
doing it.
yeah.
Yeah.
They closed with "Wake the Dead," and I was like, I've been listening to "Wake the Dead" for longer than
It's a perfect song.
I've listened to that for, at this point, the majority of my life.
Yeah, dude.
I've lived longer with that song than I have without it.
Well, yeah, we the last fest or the fest before the first fest since the pandemic, they played at the shitty cowboy bar.
The shitty cowboy. I was there. The one they
changes names every year
right before then.
Yeah, sick. God, I was talking to somebody. I was like, they need to change the Canadian national anthem to "Wake the Dead." That's it.
We'll start a fucking, I don't know what. You can't do a change.
What do you do?
A change.org. That's just the U.S. Like
a change.ca.
We'll change.ca. We're fucking starting it.
Justin Trudeau, listen to us.
Yep.
You know, it's I don't know, weird. Music is weird and cool and brings people together, and people make hot sauce companies, and wow. Sorry.
No worries.
Yeah. What? Yeah. So I don't know what's next for Soothsayer. I saw your most recent post, and you this is your full-time gig for 2 years now.
Yeah. I quit my day job. August 2021.
Hell yeah.
So last year was the first year with Soothsayer full time. Signed a lease, built out our own full-time production kitchen. Before, we had always been jumping around from, like, we had a shared use kitchen that we were licensed out in the suburbs of Chicago, and then did some stuff like off hours at friends' restaurants and stuff. So we're still in, like, we've always been in a kind of like a controlled, health inspected environment, but like skirted around some bills and having to pay money by doing weird off-hour shit with friends. Shout out to Hash, R.I.P., and Dante's Pizza for letting us take their home for a little bit. So yeah, last year was the first. The biggest thing was my only goal for last year was to have our own production facility, and we crossed that off by January 2022.
So is that? Sorry, go on.
Oh, I'd say last year, everything else is just a bonus. So this year is the first year where we have kind of like the full time and foresight to try to plan out a year. Yeah. Which I've been fairly lazy on so far, but also I had 4 days off between Halloween and fucking Christmas Day, so taking my time getting it back up.
So do y'all like? At y'all's place, is it like does it look like a brewery where there's just huge vats of stuff? Like what does that look like?
It looks, I
don't know how that works.
It looks more like a fucking like glorified like home brewers setup.
Okay.
So I mean there's people who have like, I think like our next scale up, if that were to ever happen, would be kind of investing in more of those tanks and like kettle kind of things, which I think the official term for those are steam jacket kettles, where it just like kind of cooks. It's not like a strictly bottom heating source, but more like all around the entirety of the like fillable apparatus. But right now I just use like big home brewers kettles. Okay. So I have some like 15-gallon and 20-gallon kettles that I put onto electric heating pads and heat from there. So bottom up. Damn. But like to do that, like I also realized when we got our own space, like I can't afford to buy and put in a stove and run gas and have a hood and fire protection.
Whole different ball game. Yeah.
So I mean, our whole kitchen setup is DIY shit. Everything's run electric. And I mean that gets us by because we don't do 1,000-bottle runs, and we don't have our stuff in major grocery stores, and I really don't think I ever want to.
Really?
Like I don't want to be at like a Kroger or an Albertsons or a Piggly Wiggly. I'd be in a Buc-ee's because Buc-ee's fucking rules. But that's really the only like national company I think I'd really want to work with.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, it's our product isn't for everybody, and I don't think that I want it to be.
I like that. It's because whenever a cool company, I'm putting that on your head, a cool company goes from doing what you're doing, and then I think if you made a post and you're like, all right, we're gonna be in Costco everywhere in the country, then that would change like the feel.
It's funny that you say Costco, and
you got a Kirkland's brand hoodie.
I got a Kirkland hoodie sitting right next to me. I love the shit out of Costco.
Hey, don't get me wrong.
I feel like our crowd would be okay with Costco because the CEO said, if you raise the price of the hot dogs, I will literally fucking kill you.
I'll kill you.
And that's a statement that the DIY community can get behind. But yeah, no, I mean, I don't think our audience that has been with us forever, I think they would be very happy and excited for it. Like we have a very, very, very supportive. I don't want to use the term fan base because that makes me sound like a jag-off. But
a lot of our top fans. Yeah, I get you. Yeah.
A lot of people, it's like, because I've been so many people who are like main supporters have now just become friends because
they're friends. Yeah.
Fucking awesome that they decided to choose to support this stupid spicy thing that I'm doing here. But also, like, I didn't get into doing this and set up everything to then sit in an office or sit in buyers meetings or fucking put proposals together. Like, I just want to make some product and sell it to people. And I mean, hopefully by the end of next year, I'll be able to exist not dipping into savings. But if I don't, fucking like, oh well, I was able to do this on my terms, and that's really what I'm here for.
Yeah. I don't know. It's weird when, I don't know. How am I going to say this? It's strange whenever like passion projects where you're able to like cover yourself and like you said, like live comfortably, it's weird when that goes from it, especially, I don't know, talking to somebody like you. I'm not, I don't want to put you in a box, Kyle.
You put me in a box.
I'm going to put you in the passion box of being passionate.
I'll take that.
But yeah, if it was like, all right, we're signing with, Air Emirates and we're going to be on every the hot sauce for Air Emirates or something weird, just like this huge thing. Like we're going to be on every Delta plane now,
Yeah. Exactly.
It would just be like, that doesn't seem like a thing Kyle would do.
Yeah. No. And it's, what is it like when Against Me signed a fucking, what do they sign, an Interscope or something, and everyone freaked the fuck out. Which also fair move. No shade on doing that. Like you need to exist besides being an anarchist DIY fucking punk band. Like people need rent and houses.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, like It's not that I hope to, I guess if I were to put like a growth goal or like an ideal growth trajectory on this is I would like to the biggest Soothsayer should ever get is I'm able to exist and I'm able to hire 2 or 3 friends full time and like provide provide good pay and benefits and shit, and we could just exist doing this and hang out.
Damn.
Like that's really nothing there's no grander plan beyond that. And it's just like I just want to do this and fucking hang out.
Yeah. That's
but
cool.
Also if we got into Costco, that'd be like I feel like
Costco would be cool. Yeah.
My Costco negotiation terms would just be I will sell this like almost at a loss as long as I can get a little card that gets me free hot dogs for the rest of my life.
Ooh.
I want that Costco black card.
Kyle, we can shoot bigger, and I mean the hot dogs are $2 or whatever, $1.50, and it comes with a free Pepsi fountain drink.
You're underestimating how many hot dogs I could eat in a year. I think I would get the benefit of that relationship. I'm a fat dude from Chicago. We can fucking put some dogs away.
Does ketchup belong on hot dogs?
No. Nope. Absolutely
Good
not.
answer. That's the correct answer. Yeah.
Hell yeah. There's a spot between one of my main produce I would say produce suppliers. It's a fucking grocery store. Because I don't want to get shit from like US Foods. I don't want to get something from Cisco Systems. Yeah. Like I want to go to the Mercado down the street where like I know the dudes who work in the produce department. They give me a box of peppers.
You got the peppers. So you got them in your hand and you're putting them. Yeah.
Yep. Just breathfuls at a time, like a fucking cup of Folgers. There's a spot that's on between one of my main stores I get stuff from and our kitchen that is like they don't keep ketchup in the building. No ketchup on premises.
Don't need it.
No, you want to dip your fries in ketchup? You fucking go home and do that. You're not getting
do that. Don't let anybody else see this. You go to your house.
Of your own home. Yeah.
Don't even if you got kids, put them to sleep. Don't. Yeah. You don't want them to see this. You know
the fucking don't ask, don't tell policy of ketchup, which is ridiculous, but also like
I love it.
Like you're
it's a
really
thing now. Yeah.
To the pure Chicago roots of this. So yeah, actually one of my goals overall, I'd love to open up a hot dog stand. I would. Like one of the ideas I had years ago, which I think someone's probably done at this point because money and time to do so, but to do like a hot dog stand where it's like you can get everything up on that menu, you can also then get vegetarian or vegan. So I just want a classic hot dog stand where you just go up, but like you don't have to worry about being like the vegan in the crowd where it's like, well, I guess I'm going to eat French fries for lunch again.
Yeah, potatoes. Again.
But even if that were the case, like I would not allow ketchup in my establishment.
No, of course.
I'd have to go hardline.
I love it. I had one question about the production. Do you guys wear like hazmat suits? Do you guys ever like start crying? What's the deal?
No. So at this point, I mean, I just have a fucking tolerance for it.
You're just built. Okay. Built different.
I mean, like we also now that we're in our own space, like we have high ceilings, we have a whole wall of windows, we have a vent fan. So like we're pretty set right now, but I think that we're doing all right and I don't notice anything. Then I hear people walk past our door because like our building's not only food processing. There's screen printers and people who do candies and soaps taxes, and all these other things. And there's literally a tax firm. There's a shipping logistics company.
Yeah.
And I'll hear people walk by our space and like start sneezing and coughing. And it's just like, oh, this is a thing for people still, just not for us. But when I go to like blend our products, so we have these big brewer's tanks and I have this industrial immersion like hand blender that's it's like the size of a weed whacker. It's fucking huge. So when that happens, like I'll generally like toss on like a pair of like safety goggles or something because I have gotten it in my eye before and it is not fun. Well, I mean, for some of the hotter stuff we do, like we're not doing for like edible purposes, nothing aggressively spicy,
Right.
but based on the vinegar and the capsaicin and all these things, like the emo hot one sauce that I had down at Furnace Fest this year that we did with the Into It Over It crew from Chicago. Like that is, if you get that on your eye, it's functionally pepper spray. So that's happened a couple times. Like I've luckily avoided the like touch hot peppers and then go to the bathroom issue, which is
or just rub your eyes.
Yeah, which is a very real threat to my existence at almost all time.
Damn.
So nothing like that, but we don't we don't really use like mask or ventilator equipment or anything like that. I mean, we have like the usual help. We have gloves and hats on for sanitary purposes, but no like protective wear, I would say.
Yeah, because I remember, I forgot when this happened. It happened a couple of years ago at the Sriracha factory. Like neighbors were being like, "Okay, I can't like walk past the factory without like crying."
Oh, I could see that. I mean, if you're doing like the volume that gets Sriracha in every fucking grocery store in the country, like that's a whole different ballgame.
Damn.
That's one of those like. I wondered though how many of those people moved into that neighborhood after, or like they moved into the neighborhood with the Sriracha factory already there, and then started complaining. Like the people who moved next door to a music venue or a bar, and then they're just like, "It's too loud." It's just like, well, this was fucking here before you were.
Right. It's just too
like you knew
loud.
what the deal is. You know what the fucking agreement was.
Mm-hmm.
Which I think that finally, I think it was more of a pepper shortage that caused the like Sriracha supply chain issue last year that people freaked out about.
Did y'all have a pepper shortage whenever you were during the pandemic? Did you have any pandemic supply chain effects?
Oh yeah, we had so many fucking issues. Like I couldn't find bottles for a long time. Certain peppers I wasn't able to get. I was on wait list for other peppers. But I mean, it's DIY or die, baby. Like you just fucking figure it out. Because like, so I had another company from here I talked to, like, we haven't been able to get bottles for like 7 months. I was like, yeah, my normal suppliers were out, but then I just called people all day until I found someone who had some. So the whole, and I mean, when we were setting up our kitchen, like the electric oven, the big electric heating pads, like those are all huge supply chain issues. I'd placed orders on a Monday for our 3 major equipment pieces for production, and I got an email on Friday afternoon that same week, and both companies said, hey, so your product's on back order until June, and this was late January last year. I was like, well, I can't just not make money until June.
Right.
So it was the same thing. I just like that next, I put my phone away, opened up a bottle of bourbon and said, you know what, this is a fucking Monday problem. And then on Monday, I sat down and I called customer support lines for any place I could see that possibly carried these products, and by Monday evening, I had the things I needed.
Yeah.
So
has that eased off now? Is it better? I guess a little bit.
It's better. I mean, in the sense that like I found more consistent suppliers on like things like glass bottles or like lids or the shrink wrap or things like that. But I mean, the grocery store inflation and the prices on produce and raw ingredients, like we're absolutely getting affected by that. So I went to the store today just to get groceries for the house here, and it was more back to normal, but like last Sunday, prices of habanero peppers were at $7.99 a pound. Bell peppers were at $3.99 a pound. I go back in today and they're back to like $1.49 for bell peppers, $4.99 for habaneros. Which I think like there's holiday inflation that goes into it, and I think like that. Not to get too conspiratorial. Well, it's not even a fucking conspiracy.
Hey man, this is the place.
We're here
we
for
already
it.
talked about
but
conspiracies.
I mean, the whole inflation thing is fucking horseshit. I mean, it's really just like, I mean, there's a reason why gas is higher than ever and oil companies are making more money than they ever have. And grocery suppliers and food suppliers are charging more, but they're making record profits. I mean, it's how long can they get away with increasing prices before people say fucking enough is enough. And unfortunately, based in the system that we have right now, like no one's going to say like, well, you know what? We're just not going to buy eggs for a month. Eat shit. So like, it's just kind of a thing. And so I just try to, as someone who has a fairly thin profit margin, because we want to make sure our stuff is affordable, I just have to get creative on making sure that like I schedule production when I see that things are cheap. Like I had a plan for what I was going to do this week, and all that went to shit when I saw that some of my key ingredients were half the price that they were last week.
Damn. So you're what? Are there like websites that you're watching as like a ticker, like a?
No, it's literally just me going into fucking like Mercados and grocery stores.
Oh, okay.
And I have like I've made friends with a bunch of the dudes in the produce departments of the places I go to.
Insider info.
And they'll give me a heads up. Like, I mean, last year we had probably like a month where habanero peppers were $1.50 a pound, which is less than half. Incredible.
Okay.
Like when I first started doing Soothsayer, consistently habaneros, this is 2015, 2016, habaneros around $3.99 a pound was the average.
Damn.
That's great pricing nowadays. Like usually now it's like $4.99, $5.99 a pound.
Okay.
But they're like, we're about to come into like a lot of habanero peppers. And they gave me the heads up, and I just like paused all of those projects and waited. And then during the 2 or 3 weeks when they had them, like made 6 months worth of product off of all of that. And that helps. But I mean, like,
sorry, Don.
Oh, so like it's hard if you have a restaurant and you need to be putting something on the menu every week, like you're fucked. You're just gonna have to deal with it. But I mean, it's just the old Chicago. You make friends. You have a guy for everything. That's as Chicago is not putting ketchup on your fucking hot dog. Is like I have a guy for about whatever. So I got my pepper guys.
I got my glass bottle guys. I got my tiny cap guys. Yeah. I feel you. I love it. No, it was funny because like, sorry, I was laughing because I was like, shit, we're getting into like Michael Kramer, like Dave Ramsey level of like, bell peppers are at an all-time low. You buy right now.
Oh yeah, you gotta buy. Yeah, just it's Mad Money but with peppers. Yeah, market tipping. Buy. Buy. Beep, 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 oh no, I mean if I see $1.50 fucking habanero again, I'm making a year's worth of products on those. Just because I mean, yeah, that's how I'm able to pay my fucking rent.
Would you
ever get a lot more creative when it's how you survive.
Oh yeah, man. Yeah, dude. That was whenever you're talking about like the electric stoves that y'all use, I was thinking like, oh man, yeah, this is like jail, prison shit where, I'm on my like Instagram feed, there's a lot of I don't know, I like jail stuff and prison stuff, or just like people who are, watching shows, all that stuff.
Seeing the
don't like jails.
Yeah.
Don't like prison. Yeah. Don't get me wrong.
Of course, I never assumed that's what you said.
Yeah, prison complex, terrible. They're making money off these poor people, putting them in prison forever. Anyways, but yeah, just being like, yeah, we're gonna crush up some Cheetos, and we're gonna use this hot plate, and we're gonna do this thing. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I watched a fucking YouTube. It was either an Instagram reel or like one of the YouTube shorts that was. This dude's like, hey, Bunky, you want to make some you want to make some wine?
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about.
Dude, that dude fucking rules. He has such interesting videos. And
man,
Yeah, someone who like came out of the other side of that complex. I'm like, here, we're gonna give you a taste of like and here's the stuff that we really want to know.
Yeah. What do you eat?
No, good.
Yeah.
Good for him. Like he's made it.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a lot of that. Just like you just work with what you have access to and kind of figure it out.
What is one of the biggest like aha moments you've had, I guess, with worrying about supply and that sort of thing?
I think probably the biggest like aha moment that I realized, it was during the pandemic that I realized I can, like, I don't want to ask another hot sauce company like where they get their stuff from or how they do their things.
Really?
Like
Okay.
people ask me and I'm happy to share it. Like there were literally 2 hot sauce companies that I was gifted products from through good friends. Shout out to Luke and Mike, who I met them at Furnace Fest last year, and I just whatever they wanted to ask, or Furnace Fest 2021, the first one, and they came by like, I'm really interested in this. Like I was like, yo, like we'll talk right now. I'll tell you whatever I know.
Yeah.
And shared it. And now they have their own companies. And so like I'm happy to share that. It's the dumb Midwest pride in me that keeps me from asking and bothering other people about that. But I realized that I could talk to people in like ancillary or like secondary things. Like my bottle supplier now, I've got through asking a woman in Chicago who makes like soda syrups and like drink syrups. And they use the same product, and I was like, oh, like I should hit up Joe Snow about this. Or actually, one of my buddies I share a kitchen with, put me onto them, and it's just like, oh shit, like I don't need to approach someone like I'm coming for their market, their bread and butter, their paycheck, and I could just be like, all right, like we could work together on this, and like so that was the biggest thing of like broadening the spectrum on like who I was considering as like peers and that kind of thing. Which helped. Like, I mean, it was my kettle setup that I have now is because I talked to a buddy about home brewing. I was like, well, what do you cook this in? Like, how do you bottle this? And he sent me a link to it, and I was just like, oh fuck, that could work for me.
Yeah. It's interesting because it's like it's similar, or I don't know. I've felt the same way with like giving contacts for like band stuff of like if whatever do something cool, and then somebody who I don't really like talk to hits me up like, oh, how'd you get on this cool thing? You know, you want to me, I'm a nice guy. Whatever anybody says, I'm a nice guy, Kyle.
I've never heard anything negative.
But no, it's like, well, because I don't know, maybe it's a thing in me where it's like, well, I figured it out on my own. Like, why can't you figure it out on your own?
Oh yeah,
to hit up this person or that person or whatever. But it's also, I'm very like the same where I'm like, I don't want any help. Like, I'm not asking whoever for this thing, you know, I can figure it out on my own. Damn it.
Exactly. Yeah. Just stubborn in that regard. I mean, there's some things that like, there's some things that I straight up won't tell people. Like there's very few.
Off pod, you'll tell me though. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I'll tell you. Yeah, off pod. And also like if you smash that like and subscribe button, we might tell you too.
Smash that MF like button.
But there's other things too. Like, I mean, there's people around the city here, like, who, like, locally have asked me about hot sauce stuff and whatever. Like, I'm happy to tell someone something because also, like, for my point of pride in saying, like, that I'm just going to go figure this out, it's also a point of pride of, like, I can tell you this is the equipment I've gotten, this is maybe how I've done something, but I'm still going to fucking do it better than you.
Yeah, I feel that. Yeah, I can tell you all the gear I use, but like Yeah.
Oh yeah. No, I mean
it ain't the same. Yeah.
You can going back to former friend of the pod, former guest Sam Porter.
Former friend of the pod.
Former
Sam
friend of the
Porter.
pod. We're getting no longer a friend
Callie
of the pod.
Mossy, dead to me.
Mossy out. Yeah, that's canon now. Yeah, you could get Sam's fucking pedal board set up. You can buy his fucking guitar, but there's no goddamn way you're gonna fucking do it as well.
Tones in the fingers, brother.
Yep.
Tones in the hand.
That gentle, sweet, handsome, talented son of a bitch.
They're great. Yeah, it was God. I've been lucky with this podcast because it started out as like a COVID, like I'm kind of bored and I want to talk to people, who I admire or like I think their music or whatever, their work in whatever field is cool.
Mm-hmm.
And so I've been lucky to talk to a bunch of cool people, and Sam is one of them, and John
too. Yeah, John's all right.
Yeah, but they put out, I don't know if you watched it, but they put out that documentary about them touring.
Oh, in Europe? Yeah. Oh, of course.
God, it was just so well done. I was just like, God, I had to message both of them. I was like, God, it's just like, it wasn't like I felt the need like, oh, these are my buddies now, and so I had to be like, oh, this was good. But it was like, oh man, this is actually fucking good. Like it was well shot,
legitimately fucking good.
And there's like an actual like story line to all four parts, and it's like there's a crescendo and a rising action of like, fuck, we might have to go back. I don't want to spoil anything for anybody.
Oh yeah, no. If you're listening and haven't watched it, absolutely watch it. I mean, and they put it out in 4 parts, and they put it together an actual fucking documentary just on their own, like, and all their videos, like the animation stuff that, like, I know like John and like former member Anthony did a lot of work on, and it's just like, oh, they just like figured out how to do this, and that's fucking incredible, and that's like I look up to and like pull from people like that who are just like like I was listening to the episode where you interviewed Sam yesterday, just kind of getting ready for everything. And just hearing like him talk about like the questions you had around like how do you grapple with like content and TikTok as a musician, like, and to hear all that and to hear Sam say like, oh, like, well, that's just not really how we operate. Like we don't just, it doesn't make sense for us. Like, oh, well, TikTok doesn't make sense for us, so we're going to put out a 4-part hour-long fucking documentary.
Well, short form media does not work for Callie Mossy, so we're doing a 2-hour. What I think every piece is like 30 minutes ish. You know? But yeah, it's
which is crazy.
It was great. And like I don't know. I feel like not even being buddies or knowing them or whatever, it's still worth a watch. Like,
oh, absolutely. I mean, you can never get a better look at like what, like, you see bands like Kalamasi, or like, I mean, they're one of the few bands like even in Chicago, like major city, tons of bands floating around. Very few people get to go to Europe like they did, and you look at someone who goes to Europe and like you see like, oh, Kalamasi's going to Europe, like, fuck yeah, that's awesome. It's like, no, this is a struggle. Through and through. And you're just every day you're figuring it the fuck out. And it's such a great glimpse into that.
Yeah, this is not Lady Gaga going to play, whatever soccer stadiums in Europe.
Yeah, so if you're listening and your DIY punk band has dreams of traveling overseas to play fucking Slam Dunk or whatever, take a look at that before you start booking tickets.
It's great. Yeah. Man, this has been good. We've been doing this for a while, a little over an hour.
Hell yeah. No, this has been great. Thanks so much for having me.
Yeah. I came up with a thing I need to, I've never done this before. Let me see if I can share. So I'm going to, I've got some, don't look, but I've got some ideas for some collabs, over this past year. There's been a lot of celebrity death. So I was thinking of like a commemorative Soothsayer. So here we got, of course, we got comedian Gallagher.
R.I.P. Gallagher.
And you don't have to, this is just two businessmen at a business meeting, me and you talking right now. You don't have to say at the end, after I show you all of the ones that I came up with, I want you to pick. You don't have to say right now.
Should I be? Do you want me to narrate what I'm seeing on my perspective?
Yes.
So far?
Yes. Absolutely. Yes. Comment.
So we got a picture of Gallagher hovering above his bottle of hot sauce, like he's
right. Well, he's
looking
dead.
down, looking down from the heavens that he's surely in, because you don't go to hell for smashing watermelons. With a picture of young Gallagher on the bottle with that glorious fucking flowing mane, topped with the would you call that like a newspaper boy
fedora?
Hat? Is
or
that
not
a fedora?
But yeah, no,
old Gallagher's got a fedora on.
Newsy, it's a newsy hat for the young Gallagher.
But with that mustache,
sure.
Like look at that side-eyed fucking grin.
He's got something going on.
Yeah,
he's working a deal.
He's gonna smash more than a fucking watermelon tonight. That's for sure.
Do you know about Gallagher? How much do you know about Gallagher?
I know of Gallagher from tight flared pants in the 80s, smashing produce on stage, and that's pretty much the beginning and end of it for me.
So there was like a professional wrestling type angle to Gallagher in the 90s where he had a brother who said he was Gallagher and he dressed up like young Gallagher and he performed.
Oh,
so
shit.
There's two Gallaghers going around.
Competing Gallaghers.
Blood, related by blood. They looked similar. One of them was bald and wore a wig like that.
Hell yeah. I'm here for that. I can't wait to fall down that YouTube rabbit hole later of the Gallaghers.
Man, there are enough YouTube videos. And apparently he was a real, no offense to any Gallagher stans or fans that are listening or watching. But yeah, apparently he was a real jerk.
The main Gallagher or the secondary Gallagher?
I think the main one.
Who was a jerk? Oh, that sucks.
Yeah.
Luckily, we can't meet our heroes on this one.
Well, yeah, that was my thing. I wanted to. I tried to pick. There were a lot of people who passed away, famous people that passed away in 2022, and so I tried to pick some that were, he's quirky. You're smashing watermelons. If you're, it's like the light Guar show.
Yes,
it's
Guar for if you have a white picket fence and a 401k.
I don't think he was spraying fake semen onto like the front of the crowd like Guar. Is there like a taste or like a pepper you think?
For Gallagher?
For Gallagher?
I can't think of a particular pepper, but obviously the hot sauce would have to be watermelon flavored, like without question. Which I don't.
Yes.
You know what? Actually, now that you mention that, like, I don't know if that exists, and so
that's what I was. Yeah, I looked it up.
Maybe Soothsayer 2023. We're busting out some fucking watermelons in here.
I'm cutting this whole bit from the final episode because
you could leave it in there if you want to try to make it's like we said earlier, if you can come for the fucking crown, but you better come correct.
Yeah. Oh shit.
Try to make a watermelon hot sauce. I'll make a better one.
Do you got a watermelon? Do you got a watermelon guy up there?
Oh, the same. My pepper guys are watermelon guys. Yeah.
It's all seeds and yeah. I get you. Okay.
Yep.
So this one. So don't answer yet.
All right, got it.
Gallagher. The next one, somebody who passed away in 2022. We talked about Catholicism earlier. not just by the grace of God. We talked about Catholicism earlier, and so we've got Pope.
Is that Benedict, the Nazi
Benedict
Pope?
the 16th? Yeah, he was a Hitler youth. Which who wasn't at the time?
It was all the fashion
at the time. So we got this guy, and I kept the "You'll smash your ass" because I made the Gallagher one first.
Church, yeah,
I made the Gallagher one first, and I was just like, it still fits. It's good.
I mean, when you don't have to have an edit point, it's always great to just roll.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that rules.
That's a good one. Yeah, this is
just the fucking liver spots. So I think with the Pope, I think would that be our first non-vegan product? Then we'd have to put liver in there.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, man. He was, I think I went to Catholic high school. I talked friend of the pod, Nick Wood.
Mm-hmm.
I talked to him. He went to Catholic high school as well. We talked about this. But yeah, I think whenever he got appointed Pope, I was in Catholic high school, and it was like a fucking thing. Whereas we're watching, we're watching every day. We're looking because
Pope Watch 20.
Pope Watch
20 what? 2004, 2005,
I don't know.
2006, yeah.
Something like that.
Just waiting for that white smoke, baby.
Yeah, man. Out of the Vatican. If it's white, they got a new guy. If it's black, we got to go back to the drawing board.
Send it back? I don't know. I appreciate that he was the only pope that just gave up on the job.
Yeah, he was
said,
like,
I said, I'm not going to do this anymore. And they're just like, yeah, I think that's for the best for all of us. We'll let you do that.
No, dog. He was self-aware. He's like, I got a couple years left.
Oh, yeah.
I got it.
I mean, you got to ride the first person ever to take part of the Vatican pension fund. Like, he was just living like a fucking king.
On the retirement plan.
Yeah. Yeah, it's great when no other person's ever taken advantage of that.
Yeah. Okay. I only did 3 because.
All right, let's see. We
only got so much time.
There we go.
Of course, this is more. Yeah. This is more.
Just tastes like imperialism.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, man. Colonialism. Somebody's getting taken over.
Oh yeah. Well, I guess I
just noticed this brooch. I didn't know
that's a hell of a brooch, dude. I like that fucking bling.
It's imperial.
I'd wear that.
Have you? I guess I don't know. Being in like the punk rock world, you've probably met a lot of like European English people coming through and like at fests and stuff. Have they been like, oh, good heavens, this is too spicy or whatever? Are they
some yes, yeah. No, I mean it's like I said earlier on, like there's definitely there's parts of the world that are more culturally accepting of spicy food and spicy products, and the British are not one of them. I would say I have some very, very good friends that we met at I think this would have been Fest 15 from Germany, that are lovely people that I think have tried one of my hot sauces because they just don't do it. It just doesn't. Yeah. It's not out there. I would say for the British crowd, a little bit more into the spice category, but I mean in the UK there's so many like Indian and Pakistani restaurants, and they have like curry's such a big thing in like the British food tradition that's helped out. But I mean, even then, like, I mean, you're not going into like a curry shop in London and getting like a knock your socks off heat level.
Right.
Also shout out to my boy Rich, who spent like 3 months traveling around the US around the fall and everything. He came out to my Pop Punk Pizza Party show. He was down at Fest. He's true gentleman and a scholar in the true British fashion. But yeah, no, Rich can hang. But yeah, no, the Europe in general, like I had someone at Fest is like, oh, like do you ship to Europe? And I was just like, well, I don't, because it's kind of a pain in the ass, but also because no one would really order. Like
Right.
I'll send out something every now and then, but like, yeah,
man.
UK and Germany aren't clamoring over spice.
Yeah, man. No. Yeah, they've been around longer than the U.S., so it's like you got yeah.
Yeah, you guys like, especially in Britain, like you invented, I mean, forced.
You stole it from India. Yeah.
Yeah, you stole all this shit from India, but you still can't figure out how to flavor your own fucking food.
But yeah, you like, I don't know, you can go to like Nando's chicken and get some hot chicken in England, or at least
cheeky Nando's.
Cheeky Nando's.
They got the peri peri.
Yeah, peri. Yeah. And like whenever we were over there in 2019, McDonald's was doing this like we got the American Burger series, we got the Memphis Burger, we got the Atlanta Burger. Ooh, we got all these different burgers.
While we're going here, I'm gonna try to look this up because I'd like to do a quick critique on.
Oh no, it was crazy because the commercials were like, "We got this Memphis burger," and it was like, "I've been to Memphis, and the scenes that you are showing are not Memphis."
No, I mean also if you've been to Memphis, most of what Memphis is could not be shown on television in the UK. Yeah. Memphis fucking rules. Oh, here we go.
Wow.
Right, I think I found them. Oh my god, this is on the bun is so weird. The buns,
it was terrible. Like, it didn't taste like anything I had eaten before in America.
It looks like the bun looks like a pull-apart bread that someone would make from TikTok and bring to a holiday party.
Yeah.
Oh, there was a Chicago burger.
Yeah.
There was
all like
the Chicago Supreme.
Did they have beef patty? Did they have ketchup on it?
So, all right, to their, you know what? I bet that this was just. No, I don't. I'm not giving you access to my cookies. Reject all. The Chicago burger, beef patty, bacon, cheese, onion, tomato salsa.
No.
I bet it was just ketchup, but they called it. You know what? I'll give them props for skirting the cultural rules there.
The ketchup. Yeah.
I mean, ketchup can be a tomato salsa if you really want it to be.
Okay, tomato sauce.
Holy shit, this is what I can't. All right, I'll dive into this more later. I know we got to finish up, but holy
Kyle,
shit,
we are on a podcast right now.
Yeah, sorry, I fell down a rabbit hole. I need to figure out more about that, but that's for another time. We're on a podcast. We have a Gallagher sauce. We got a Pope sauce. We got a Queen sauce to talk about.
We've only got, this is like, Fox, local channels or whatever, your local news. We've got so much time. No, what do you think? You don't have to pick. I'm trying to think like who is putting butts in seats, who is buying sauce. You don't have to align,
I think,
politically with anybody.
I would say Gallagher would be the most likely between Gallagher, the former Pope, and the former Queen. So we're just gonna put this out there. British people don't know how to fucking season food. It's just a thing. It's just not out there. They're not. I mean, Nando's.
I didn't say it.
You didn't say it. I'll say it. Yeah, that's a Soothsayer exclusive. Yeah, Britain doesn't know how to season fucking food. So. Yeah, I think the Queen's out. The Queen would probably be the best seller, but I don't think that their audience would be as appreciative.
Do you think the Queen sauce would be like a Princess Di Beanie Baby?
The Princess Di Beanie Baby?
Yeah.
Oh, I do. I like that though. Like, Make
Kyle,
it purple like the Princess Di Beanie Baby.
Kyle, are you trying to be a millionaire? Are you
that's how I sell
a...
out. I'm not selling out to Kroger or Albertsons, but I'll fucking sell out to make a Queen family? Hot sauce. A royal family fucking hot sauce. Yeah, let's go.
Okay.
Yeah,
I'm looking out for
also,
you, Kyle.
I appreciate that, buddy. So yeah, I think the Queen would make the most money, but probably also get the least amount of use for the product.
Well, we got baked beans. We got beans.
It would have to,
or not even baked beans. Yeah.
The sauce would just be stewed tomatoes and beans in a bottle. That's all it would fucking be.
God, dude, I got lied to about a full English. Everybody was like, "Oh, you got to get a full English breakfast," and I got it, and I was like, "This tastes like fucking dog food. Like, what are we doing?"
Well, I mean, and it's
no offense to any English people that are listening. No offense to anybody.
Yeah, but I mean, also, it's just the easiest way to get some bacon and eggs in Britain.
Right. Yeah.
Like that's all I really fucking wanted. Like you didn't need to give me these beans and tomatoes on top of it.
Tomato slices, yeah. Okay, so Queen is out.
All right.
So we got
Queen's out.
We got
it's between Gallagher and the Pope.
The old Pope.
The old Pope. I think I'm gonna have to get rid of the old Pope because the new Pope is so dope. Like he's more open to like people are gay. He seems like just a good dude. He's like, yeah, if you're gay, that's cool. It's like we're also here to support poor people, which is like what the whole thing was supposed to be about.
Kind of the whole Christianity thing. Yeah.
Yeah. So I would make a hot sauce for the current Pope. Well, no, that's still Catholic.
Well,
so
no, we're doing
not in a heartbeat.
Out of R.I.P.
Out of R.I.P. So yeah, Pope, fucking vampire Nazi Pope is out. Gallagher's the one because again, that's the only person I instantly thought of was like, you know who would actually have a dope hot sauce? A Gallagher watermelon hot sauce. Like you do some watermelon, maybe some peri peri peppers in there. Yeah, I think that could be a thing. I will be sending you probably within the next month because I'm about to hit my like development time for the year. I'm gonna fuck with trying to make a watermelon hot sauce now, and I will send you a bottle.
Brother, I'm there. I'm down
Hell
for
yeah.
it. Oh my goodness, Kyle.
Yeah, so Gallagher gets the W out of the 2022 in memoriam hot sauces.
In memoriam, R.I.P. Damn it. Damn, we went way longer than I thought we were gonna go. Kyle.
That's usually I talk a lot. That's usually how it goes with me in these things. So thank you for listening to my bullshit for 90 minutes now.
No, I'm glad. The people don't know this, but we messaged, late last year, and you were busy. So I was like, oh, okay, fuck, gotta wait, because you were one of the people that I want to talk to. Like I got a little notes app thing that
means a lot.
Yeah. What? So yeah, 2023. What should the people look for from Soothsayer?
I mean, if anything, like if you're listening to this, if you want to see what we're about, if you want to see what we're up to, Instagram is really the only thing I use for promotions. We have our web store and website. We're actually going to be launching a new website entirely. Probably what? And we're end of January right now, so yeah. By end of February, we should have a new website together. To have some fun with. We're gonna have a bunch of new recipes to use products with. But Instagram.
What's the website?
I should probably actually plug that. www.soothsayerhotsauce.com. But Instagram at Soothsayer Hot Sauce is really the big one. If you're still using Facebook, fucking follow on there. If you live somewhere around the Chicagoland area, that's where we'll be posting about like shows and stuff that we'll be putting on. Trying to do a little bit more in the like live music partner and sponsorship than the last 2 years, which were really just our Riot Fest shows. Trying to get back into there more to kind of showcase some more of Chicago's better local options. That train, I love that train whistle. I wish that we had that more around here.
Okay.
I say that now, but also like as someone who distinctly remembers being hungover after Furnace Fest at 5 in the morning when the train whistles start, would miss it a little bit less if it was a constant. But yeah, so Soothsayer at Soothsayer Hot Sauce for Instagram. Yeah, follow our web store, support the artists that we support artists in your own towns because that's how cool shit happens. And like and subscribe. You had options. There's so many dope people on here. Like, yeah, my like Nick Wood's friends and former business associates with, and the Kalamasi guys. I saw you had Peter Marullo from Fest on there too. So not to show my hand at all, but as a
Hey, show your hand. Show it.
As a subscriber to Valerie's OnlyFans account, there's a great in-depth look at what that whole world looks like. Support your local sex workers, and have some fun. Keep listening to this great show.
She's great. She's cool. Yeah. Thanks, Kyle. Stay on for a minute after we stop. But thanks for doing this. Cool. You had options, but you decided to talk to me. I appreciate it.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.